Good morning, everybody. I guess it's still morning, 11:20. How are you on this fine Monday morning? I love Mondays, but then again, I love every day. I think Mondays is like a whole new week. It's a fresh start. You can do your planning and figure things out. Let me adjust the camera a little bit. There you go. Do your planning and figuring stuff out. But I want to talk to you today. I've always wanted to do a post called The Tales of a Reluctant Shaman. I have always wanted to do it, and I've hesitated, and then all of a sudden I was called to do it today. You know, back when I started on a spiritual path, which was when I was 11 years old, I was sitting out in a snowbank. We had a hunting dog, Lady Dewberry of Catalina, we call her Dewey, a hunting dog, and I was sitting out there just sobbing, just saying, just things are not going well for this little 11-year-old girl. And my guardian angel showed up and said, hey, if you can hang in there till you're 18, life will be awesome. So that was my first adventure with spirituality. And then it continued until I joined the Air Force. And this was, 40 years ago. And when I was in the Air Force, I met this guy from Colombia. And he was a shaman. First ever met a shaman. And he taught me some amazing things about the universal powers and gifts and what you can do with it. And I would go out and I would tell people, and they'd look at me like, you are cuckoo-ca-choo. You are crazy. So I had to tuck that away and kind of put it away and dabble a little bit in spirituality, but not too much. Now keep in mind, this was a time back when Shirley MacLaine came out, and everybody's like, well, she can't because she's an actress, but we all know actresses are crazy. So it was kind of just coming into mainstream, but not too much, and definitely not into the corporate world. Then things progressed. I actually took notes, I remember. Then things progressed, and, I would go back and forth with spirituality. Then The Secret came out, and I was all in on The Secret. I can remember when people came to my office saying, you've got to see The Secret, you've got to read it, because I knew The Secret was going to be a turning point. I knew somehow it was going to bring things back out in the forefront. And then about a year or 2 years later, I meet another shaman, and she's like, you've got to quit hiding. You've got to come out of the closet. So I studied under her. I learned how to do more stuff. I came out, I put on Facebook, yay, I'm a shaman, I love this, and I got hammered because I exist in the corporate world. And the corporate world is starting to look over its spirituality. I think women more so are really looking into it. Women are really starting to come into their power, into who they are. But in a corporate world, it's tough. We have conferences, and we actually had a speaker come in that talked about spirituality, and it did well. We had a speaker talk 10 years ago about spirituality, and it was a bomb. It was awful. So I think we're seeing a change where people that are in the corporate world or in mainstream America are talking more about spirituality. And when I talk spirituality, I don't mean just religion, although religion's a piece of it. It is learning how to go within. It's learning about your universal gifts. I've talked before how I'm a claircognizant. Can't pronounce it, but that's what I am. I feel, I sense, I can tell somebody around me is sad or happy. I can, look at a piece of equipment and know why it doesn't work. I get these universal downloads. And it took me years to understand that. And that was after going through all this different training. It seems in my life, every time I turn around, I run into a spiritual person. For 40, 50 years, and I think their whole goal was to, keep nudging me down the path. I believe everything happens when it's supposed to happen. So although, when I was in my 20s, I had shaman training, and then again in my, 50s, I've had shaman training. I think I had to wait till I got to this point before it could really be incorporated, because I think that you have to be comfortable with that aspect, and you have to realize that the people around you may not be comfortable. I realize that sometimes people feel like I'm looking through them, that I can read what they're thinking and I'm looking through them, and although I probably can, you just don't. It's just not ethical. So I don't, but I see people backing away from me, and that took an adjustment. So if you're starting on your spiritual path and you're in the corporate world, if you need any advice or any help, let me know. It can be challenging. You know, I work for a not-for-profit, and it can be challenging because not everybody sees or understands that piece. You know, I think they think I'm going to start shrinking heads and boiling bones in a kitchen or something. When really I just believe in universal power. I know that there is nothing in this world you can't do. I know that if one person has thought about something in all the universe, if one person had that thought, you know, take that out to how many percentage of people have that thought. You know, when Thomas Edison discovered electricity, he wasn't the first one to have that thought. He was the first one to implement it. You know, when you see all these advances in science, you know, when Steve Jobs came up with Apple, he wasn't the first one to have that thought. He was just the first one to implement it. And I think that makes all the difference is, are you the one willing to implement what you've learned? Are you the one willing to step out and say, hey, I get this. Okay, I understand. Trees are living and rocks are living and we all vibrate, and it's a vibrational universe, and we all go to that level. But you have to be willing to come out of the closet. You have to be willing to discuss it more. And I guess I decided to talk more about it because I get asked more about it. So many people will come to me and they'll want to talk about one thing when really at the end of the day they want to know what their business niche is or what's blocking them. Because I just intuitively know what's blocking people. I see people, and this is hard to explain, I see people as they could be. I see people, I don't want to say as they should be because we're all as we are, but I see people if they're standing in their fullest potential. I see people that when they wake up and they start moving forward, I see where they're going to end up. Now, whether people get there or not, I don't know, but I can see that. And you know, sometimes it's frustrating because I'll see people not doing something. I want to shake them and say, "Oh my God, you have so much potential. Go do this. This is your gift." It's how I see people. You know, how your spiritual gift is. You have to look at it and nurture it and embrace it and love it, because we all have the same gifts. I'm not the only one that can see people's potential. I'm not the only one that can see people's blocks. You know, I look now and I think I look with such envy when I look at and envy's not a good word, but when I look at Gabby Bernstein or Danielle Laporte or Marianne Williamson, you know, to be born in their time when they were able to come out right away in their 20s and 30s and say, yo, I'm going to teach you how to meditate. I'm going to teach you how. I used to hang out with the Buddhist. I did this and did that. I mean, wow, what a great time. So if you're learning about spirituality, come out of the closet and tell people, this is the time. There's a spiritual awakening taking place in this world. Enjoy it, embrace it. If you're not sure, have somebody help bring you out of the closet. If you have any questions, let me know. You can jump over to my website, go to my YouTube channel and hit me a subscribe, and you know, when I go on Facebook Live or go to my notification, give me some likes and some love for this, because that's how you move up the algorithms. And please, if you have any questions, let me know. If you're in your 40s, 50s, and 60s and you're like, man, I am so spiritual, but I'm in a corporate world, let me help you, because I've been with that frustration. I know what you're saying. I'll talk to you guys later. Have a great day. Bye-bye.